Becoming financially independent at the age of 26 has given me some amazing opportunities in life. And how I really did it came down to 4 simple phases. I want to share those with you today because I want to help you hack what you need to do on going through these 4 hoops. Because if you can do it, it can open up a whole new world of possibility for you.
'Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
I travel around the world and I share with people the story of how I became financially free at such a young age. And the independence really came from 4 key phases that I'm going to be sharing with you right now. And the first thing that I want to talk about, the first phase, it's what we call motivation. I work with people that say and give lip service to, oh, I want to be wealthy. Like, people will comment below, Kris, teach me, man. I DM'd you. Like, will you help me figure out how to build all this wealth? And I look at that and I'm just like, are you motivated? For me, my motivation came from some deep pain. It was one part watching my wife cry over my inability to put groceries on the table. And I felt pathetic and small. I had just decided I wasn't going to be a doctor. I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I know I never wanted to see my wife cry like that ever again. And it unlocked something in me, that pain. A lot of people, they take their pain and they just feel worse and worse and worse over it. And my pain led me to rise up and say, I never want to feel this way again. I am motivated. I was also motivated by my parents because my parents had 9 kids. They didn't have any retirement to speak of, and I felt like it was my responsibility, for whatever reason, to take care of them in their old age. So I'm like, I gotta make enough money for my family and for my parents. And I gotta tell you, for the last 10 years, I've been taking care of my parents. I send them on trips, and I take care of the medical procedures, and I cover their monthly thises and that's, and room and board and food, and it's joyful for me. It's probably one of the most meaningful things I've ever done. That's motivation. It's one thing to have pain in your life, but the question is, can you harness it to do what needs to be done? There's gotta be a turning point. There's gotta be a point where you say, I'm finally gonna do whatever it takes. And here's how you know if you have enough motivation. Because when it comes time to doing the do, you do it. When most people don't. It's like, you gotta understand that anyone that accomplishes something great always has that moment where it's hard and difficult, where most people would give up. It's hard to go online and look for a good deal, or to buy a course and get a mentor and learn from them, or to get through all the training materials. There's some things that are just hard that people don't want to do, and so they don't do the do. The people that do versus the people that don't come down to motivation. And motivation is not waiting for something bad to happen in your life where you're like, finally I have motivation. It is self-created. If you had a kid and I took a gun and I put the gun to your kid's head and I said, find an amazing deal with 20% equity today or I'm gonna kill your kid. As graphic and vulgar as that sounds, I promise you would find a deal or call the cops and plant a really awesome FBI sting operation. As gruesome of an example it is, I want you to understand that motivation has nothing to do with ability. It has to do with a reason to make a choice, a reason to act. Motivation is a choice. You don't have to wait for something dramatic to happen. You can choose in. And that's number 1. The next thing that happened was that motivation led me to buy my very first house. And it felt kind of safe for me. It was a stretch and it was hard, but it had a basement apartment that was going to cover the mortgage. And I guess in my head, I'm like, well, if the basement doesn't rent out, if it doesn't end up being a good investment, people need a place to live anyway, so we'll pay that. I had the motivation, I took action on it, and it was the start of a system. Because I bought the house had equity in it, and it ended up being a cash cow, and a system emerged. Once you have the motivation in place, you then need to lock in on a system. My system really emerged when I did my second house. My second house was when I used equity from the first house because of how I bought it. I put it into a second piece of property. And that other piece of property was awesome because I bought it really far below market. It had a $600 a month cash flow. It took courage and motivation to buy that house. But once I did it, I'm like, oh, this is what a lease option is. This is how you find someone to live in the house that isn't just a renter. They're gonna take care of it and they'll eventually buy it. A system emerged that I ended up documenting in this book. This is the second edition, but this book has created millionaires. And everyone needs a system. You need a system, but you can have mine for free. All you need to do is click the link below, and then you can just cover the shipping, the actual cost of the book I'm covering, and the book is yours. That led to a system on that second property. The next thing once I had the system was duplication. Like, all right, I know how I'm making money. Now I need to duplicate it. I need to replicate my result. So I did it on my third house and my fourth and my fifth. And I'm like, okay, I have a system. I'm duplicating it. And now I have a funnel working for finding the deals, putting the tenants in the home, and getting paid for doing them. There was a draw though. There was a fault in the system. And the system was, it always required me to come up with more money to do my next deal or wait for money to be in the next house that I could pull out to do the next deal. So it was growing, but for me, it was growing really slowly. And that's what takes us to the fourth step, which is the acceleration. Acceleration is when you figure out how to put your duplicatable system on steroids. And how I did that was I took my track record and I shopped it out. My father-in-law said, whoa, you bought some homes, it's working, let me give you some money and let's speed this up. And after that worked and bought 5 homes and kept on going, I found 3 or 4 other partners and then more, and they put the money in, and then I kept supplying the deals, and now this thing started accelerating. Along the way, I was operating this whole thing, which meant that it replaced my job, but it had become a job itself. And then I learned that really part of acceleration means moving from being a business operator to a business owner. And a business owner means that you get the earnings from the business without needing to actually run the business. So it's actually one of the coolest parts about the whole thing. I look at my life and rewind, and it's so perfect, mostly because if I started over, I'll just do the exact same thing again and start from scratch and build wealth. And I can be a millionaire almost overnight because I know that I have the motivation, I tapped into the system, I know how to duplicate it and accelerate it. So in my world today, I do this every single day. Or rather, I should say, other people are doing this for me. So my wealth continues to grow, my wealth continues to expand, and that's my journey. If you're looking for a wealth system, look no further. It's here and it's free. Just cover the shipping and I'll send this out to you. If you're sitting there and you're like, well, Kris, I have money in a 401k or an IRA, could I go faster? You can actually talk to my team about leveraging my system where we'll find the deals for you. We'll give you the system, we'll duplicate it, and we'll accelerate it for you. All turnkey. So that might be for you. If it is, check it out, talk to them. Other than that, please subscribe, leave some comments. Let us know what you think about this video. Tell us what other videos you'd like made, because I'm making one every single day for you. Thank you so much for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's video.